Hello. So in this video I'm just going to revise the things that I have done for medieval Indian history. These are the small type of notes that I have made to revise the entire medieval history in very simpler manner. This is just the chronology of the entire medieval Indian history, just like we did for ancient Indian history. Okay, so now let's just begin right away. So we know the ancient Indian history I had ended with tripartite struggle. Tripartite struggle was between Gujara Pratiharas, the Rashtrakutas and the Palas. Palas were from West Bengal, Rashtrakutas were this entire thing. Here it is Rashtrakoot, and here near Gujarat it was Gujara Pratiharas, and here near the Bengal, here it was Palas. So they all were struggling to capture the Kannauj, and eventually the Gujara Pratiharas succeed in capturing Kannauj. Okay, so after that, what happened was eventually, due to the tripartite struggle and also due to various factors, there was not a central powerful power in India to rule, and all the kingdoms and dynasties were fragmented basically. So what happened was we had this Sultanate period, which is also called as Delhi Sultanate. So we have the following rulers for following dynasties which ruled under Delhi Sultanate period. So I have made a mnemonic called SKTSL. Okay, SKTSL. In this S we have slave dynasty. In slave dynasty we have Iltutmish and Balban. From K we have Khalji, and then from T we have Tughlaq, S we have Sayyid, and then L we have Lodi. Okay, now just remember that in slave dynasty we need to remember just few only two people. These are Iltutmish and Balban. Iltutmish was actually a slave, but and he was the first ruler of slave dynasty, and he introduced a system called Iqtidari system. Okay, Iqtidari system is very important because it laid foundation to various other type of system which we will see in a few short while. Okay, so Iltutmish, remember Iqtidari system, and then we have Balban. Balban is known for his various policies, but basically he is known for sajda and paibos, that he made mandatory for other courtsmen in his court to do sajda and paibos, that is kissing the feet of the emperor, that is Balban. Okay, so this was not liked by many actually. Then we have Khalji. In Khalji we have Jalauddin Khalji, and then we have Alauddin Khalji. Just remember Alauddin Khalji. Alauddin Khalji is known for his Dag and Huliya system, that is regarding his horse numbering system that he used to measure the accuracy of the things. Okay, and then another important thing is he maintained the first standing army with and also he did measurement of land, and according to which the rates were decided for the Iqtidari system. Okay, then we have he made market regulations. He also made changes to weights and measures. He was the first ruler to make changes to weights and measures in medieval history. Okay, then we have Tughlaq dynasty. Just remember in Tughlaq we had Muhammad bin Tughlaq. He is also known as the wise fool, and his son is known as Firoz Shah Tughlaq. He was a little bit better than Muhammad bin Tughlaq. What he did was he made hereditary the Iqtidari system. We'll soon see what is Iqtidari system. Okay, so the second point is soldiers were paid by land. Actually, this is what Iqtidari system is. Iqtidari system tells that if suppose if I am the king, and if there is soldier under me, or a commander or a soldier, then in medieval times what I used to do was I used to assign him a land of, I suppose, 5 acres. Okay, so 5 acres. This land used to belong to this soldier X. This was Iqta of this soldier particularly. So what he used to do, he used to hire some middlemen, and these middlemen used to work through this middleman used to collect taxes by employing peasants under them. These peasants used to work, then they used to pay taxes. These taxes were then given to the soldier. This soldier also gives some amount of taxes to the king, and then he keeps some amount to himself as his salary. Okay, so this is basically the broad understanding of Iqtidari system. This was also modified by other rulers in the future. We will also see that. Okay, then we have jizya too. Okay, so jizya tax was imposed by Iltutmish, and then this jizya tax was also extended to women, children and Brahmins also. Okay, so earlier this was not the case. Women, children and Brahmins were excluded, but by Firoz Shah Tughlaq he also included these category of people into jizya. What is jizya? Jizya is a tax of imposed on non-Muslim people. Okay, non-Muslim people. Then we have so we are done with slave dynasty, Khilji, Tughlaq, Sayyids, and then Lodi. Okay, not an issue. Then we move to, okay, here we have 4 types of taxes in Quran. This is very important. The first is jizya. This is what I said in the beginning, that jizya is a non-Muslim tax imposed on non-Muslim people, not on Muslim people. Then the second is zakat tax, zakat. Then what is zakat tax? 2% tax on property. Then kharaj is 1/10 of the produce as land tax. 1/10 of the produce, that means agricultural produce. Then we have khams. Khams is basically 1/5 booty capture of war. Whatever the loot the soldiers capture, 1/5 goes to the king, or 1/5 goes to the sultan. That is known as khams. Okay. So this was it for the Delhi Sultanate. Just remember the words SKTS. You will remember these dynasties, and if you remember these dynasties, you will eventually remember these important names also: Balban, Iltutmish, Alauddin, then Firuz Shah Tughlaq. That is it. You don't need to stress on the names of Sayyid and Lodi dynasty. Okay, these are not that important in compared to others, which made significant changes, significant reforms. Like I said, Firuz Shah Tughlaq made these following changes. He also made changes regarding agriculture also. You can read about it in detail. Here I have just included important points that I use for my revision. Okay. Here my objective is not to teach, just revise. Then we have Mughal dynasties, which comes after the Delhi Sultanate period gets over. Okay. Delhi Sultanate period gets over. Here I have made the mnemonic called Bajshah. BHAJSA. Bajshah. Then first we have Babur. Babur, he introduced the first time artillery and gunpowder at first battle of Panipat. Okay, against this first battle of Panipat was fought with the Lodis. Just remember that. After Babur we have Humayun. After Humayun we have Akbar. This is most famously known ruler. During Akbar's tenure, he fought the second battle of Panipat. Then he made Fatehpur Sikri as his new capital. Also know that Ibadat Khana was a sacred prayer hall where he used to conduct debates between various religious scholars, where they used to discuss the philosophies and things, okay, of different religions. He was a tolerant ruler, you can say that. Then also he laid emphasis on universal brotherhood. Then what he did was he implemented his own type of system called Mansabdhari system. This was a modified version of Ikta. Okay, Ikta system. Then this was similar, like I had explained earlier, ki Iktadari system and Mansabdhari systems are mostly the same. These are the methods to pay. The officials or the people who work for the king. The king cannot pay directly rupee or dollar to the official or to his courtsman. So what he used to do is he used to grant land to these people, and these people, suppose he is X, then what he does is he gives it to a middleman. These middlemen then give it to the peasants. These peasants work for the middleman. They collect this money, then they transfer to the X person, and then X person transfers this to the king as a token. So this was regarding Mansabdari system. Then we have Navratnas. Everybody knows about Navratnas. Then after Akbar we have Jahangir. Jahangir is well known for his portrait paintings. This was the zenith of Mughal architecture. Then we have Shah Jahan. Shah Jahan is specifically known for his Mughal architecture, and the prime example is Taj Mahal. And then we have Aurangzeb. He is also known as the most radical ruler of the entire period. He reimposed jizya, and there are many policies of Aurangzeb. You can go through them. These are just the broad views that I have noted for myself. So this was regarding Delhi Sultanate and Mughal period. We have completed Delhi Sultanate and we have completed Mughal period. Let us see what we have. We have 4 taxes in Quran, that is done. Okay, so this is important thing what I had explained earlier. Jagirdari system. Let us see what is Jagirdari system. Evolved from Ikta system of Iltutmish. It was implemented by Akbar. Yes, we saw it. Non-heritable land area gifted to king's official, collected revenue and handed to emperor. As I said to you, this land is given to the king's official. He then collects revenue on behalf of the king and shares that revenue with the king, some percentage. Then we have Zamindari system. This is also some modified form of Jagirdari system. Here there are land owners collected taxes from peasants on behalf of imperial court. Same thing that I have told you, same story, but the only change is these are hereditary. These are not hereditary, these are like salaries. So salary cannot be hereditary, okay. Just remember that. Then we have mansabdari system. What is mansabdari system? Mansabdari system was also made by Akbar, and this was way forward. This was ahead of their times. They were awarded to individuals, and these were like a social rating, like A1, these were like grades. This grade used to denote the salary of that person. Then this used to denote the status and hierarchy, the number of armed retainers, that is the number of army personals, the number of elephants, the number of horses that these people possess. These was denominated by a specific number. For example, 4500 mansabs means the person is very much high in hierarchy compared to other person who has just 500 mansabs, okay. This was just like a ranking system. You just need to remember that, okay. So we are done with this. Then we have Vijayanagara Empire, okay. Vijayanagara Empire, let us see Vijayanagara Empire, no problem. We have the 4 important dynasties of Vijayanagara Empire. They are Sangam dynasty, these the Sangam dynasty was founded by Harihara and Bukka. Then we have Suluva dynasty. These, just remember the important name called Devraya II of Suluva dynasty. Then we have Tuluva. This is the most important one, Tuluva, okay. In Tuluva we have Krishna Devraya, and in third and the last one is Aravidu. This was Ramraya. Ramraya is important name, just remember that. We will come to it in just a second. Remember that Krishna Devraya also built Virupaksha temple, and there was a system called Nayakar system. This was also similar, inspired from Ikta. Just remember that Nayakar system. It can be asked in prelims that Nayakar system is regarding to which of the following. Then they will give you Akbar, then they will give you Harihara and Bukka, then they will give you Krishna Devraya. You just need to remember this, okay. Then we have under this Tuluva dynasty of Vijayanagara Empire, temple architecture flourished a lot, and one of the main feature was this Kalyan Mandapam system. Also they were patterns of Dravid architecture, okay. Dravidian architecture, and you can learn a lot about them in art and culture material, okay, not here. Then we are done with important things like Delhi Sultanate, Mughals. Then important systems like Jagirdari, Zamindari and Mansabdari system. Then we have done Vijayanagara Empire also. We are done. This is good progress, okay. Then here comes another important point, this Battle of Talikota. Here Battle of Talikota, you need to remember is this Aravidu dynasty. Here was a ruler called Ramraya. This was actually the last ruler of Aravidu. So what happened was, there were Deccan Sultanates also. Let me just draw a map here real quick. This is Gujarat, this is India. So here there were the denominations of Deccan Sultanate, okay. Deccan, let me just write here Deccan Sultanate, okay. And here there were Vijayanagara Empire. It was vast, and it was in conflict with this Deccan Sultanates. In Deccan Sultanates we have the following important territories. We have Bijapur, Golconda, Ahmednagar and Bidar. All these Deccan Sultanates combined their forces, and they were against Ramraya of Vijayanagara dynasty, Vijayanagara Empire, okay. So this Ramraya guy was overconfident in his approach, and eventually he was defeated, and this Vijayanagara Empire came to an end. That's what I have written here, destroyed an end of Vijayanagara Empire, okay. You just need to remember Battle of Talikota and who were the principal proponents. That is it. And then we have, after the end of Mysore Empire, as I have shown in the map, this was Vijayanagara, right. So after the end of Vijayanagara, there came Mysore emergence. In Mysore emergence, it was founded by Wodiyar, okay, Wodiyar people. And then after Wodiyar, Hyder Ali took control of Mysore, and then afterwards Tipu Sultan. And we know the rest of the story in modern Indian history also, that there were Anglo-Mysore war, and actually in the 4th Anglo-Mysore war, Tipu Sultan died at Seringapatam fort when it was besieged. So he died fighting at Seringapatam fort. So I guess this is the end of medieval Indian history in a chronological manner. I have not taught you the concepts, or I have not taught you the facts, but I have taught you the basic chronology through which you can approach medieval Indian history and go into examination with confidence that yes, I know following chronology, and yes, I can eliminate statements and get to my answer precisely. History, and particularly medieval history, is not about rote learning facts. It is about filtering out important information through vast ocean of content. So that is it. Let us just quickly revise things. Tripartite struggle, Delhi Sultanate, then we have Mughal Sultanate. These are the acronyms, or you can call it mnemonics, that I have made for them. Then we have 4 types of taxes. This is also important. One word association questions can come from this. Then we have Jagirdari, difference between Jagirdari, Zamindari and Mansabdari. Which of the following are hereditary? Who made Ikta hereditary? Tell me this answer. Who made Ikta hereditary? We know Firuz Shah Tughlaq made Ikta hereditary. Who introduced Ikta system? We know Iltutmish introduced Ikta system. What did Akbar do? Akbar actually did, Akbar introduced Mansabdari system. So these are the things that we need to remember for examination. Then we know Vijayanagara Empire. What is Vijayanagara Empire known for? It is known for its Dravidian architecture, that is temple architecture. This we'll see in detail when I will revise my art and culture topics. That is it. So this was it for medieval Indian history. Thank you.